Alright, welcome to something. Oh god, it's live. I don't know what happened today. Something happened. Everything's broken. I'm finally finishing Westworld. It's a disaster. Welcome to Ben's OP Game Show, recorded live. It's obvious that it's live every time. But today, wow. Recorded live, 3 p.m. Pacific time, every Friday, right here on twitch.tv/TheGameFanatics, until they get mad at me, or I leave because apparently Twitch is dead now. Oh, let's just abandon Twitch. Okay. Alright, let's abandon Twitch then. It's the only most popular platform for streaming. Okay, let's just ban. On this week's show, I'm going to be talking about PSX, and specifically The Last of Us 2. Do we need it? What do we want from it? Almost like sneezed or something. I'm dying. This is the show I might just die. It's not going great. Also, going to talk about Dead Rising 4. Played about 8 hours or so of it. Kind of early-ish impressions, but so far pretty positive. And also Resident Evil 7, because they updated the demo for the 18th time, and that's annoying. But first, let's take a look at some of the biggest stories of the week. And this week, maybe it's just things I'm randomly interested in revolving around Nintendo. So, we had on, what is it, The Tonight Show with, I keep on wanting to say Jimmy Kimmel. It's not Jimmy Kimmel. Let's just call him Jimmy Kimmel. Everything's off to a bad start. So Nintendo goes on the show to show off Super Mario Run and the surprise of the Switch. Okay. Now, it's nice to see the Switch out in the wild and running, and there's some issues with this because a lot of people have been looking at this going, is this even real? Oh, Reggie wasn't pressing the buttons, or he was only using the analog stick, or whatever. Is it real? Maybe. Maybe not. It certainly was real when Jimmy Kimmel, who we're gonna call him now, it's not Jimmy Kimmel, was playing it on the handheld. That was obviously real, but there was a lot of weird stuff with how it was removed from the dock, and there was kind of like this, it was a drum roll moment that seemed unnecessary. If you were going to highlight, hey, we're taking this out and here you go, you'd want it to be quick. You'd want it to have that rapid pace. So the fact that it wasn't, and there was kind of a 5-second lull of what's happening here, that's the problem. But regardless, this is what it's going to be. Even if this is all fake and whatever, this is what it's aiming to be. So that's fine until it gets in our hands and is lying to us. We don't know yes or no, or if we should care. I also question anyone who's looking at this going, well, how fast does it switch? We need to switch like really quickly. Who the fuck is taking this thing out of the dock and wanting to instantly play the game again? Like instantly. I think you can wait a second. You can wait 5 seconds for the game to pop up. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. Just chill out. Just chill out. You do not need to be gaming on the go immediately. It doesn't need to be an immediate thing. So I'm fine with the transition time. I'm fine with what they showed. It looks good. People are saying it runs better. It does appear to run better, I guess. I don't know. I still don't buy that it's going to be a vast improvement over the Wii U version because of how low the specs are going to have to be for this to be a actually marketable, product. Like, you can't make a system that's more powerful than the Wii U and launch it for a price that is the same or $50 more than the Wii U, and it's portable now. That's a disconnect for me. But let's talk about another Switch thing, which I don't believe. This game. Now, what is this game about? I have it written down here. Seasons of Heaven. It's supposed to come out in 2018. It's a Switch exclusive Unreal 4 game. Now, I don't know if you could see, my video, probably not the best. You can't really see the visual fidelity of this game. This game would look beautiful on the PS4 Pro, on a PC, and that's why it's straight up a lie. There is no way this game comes out and it looks like this. There's absolutely no way. I mean, look at this game. Look at the draw distance and the shadows and how many blades of grass there are. And look at fucking Breath of the Wild. Notice a big difference there. This game is not going to come out and look like that. There's absolutely no way in hell the Switch can run that. And I just don't buy it for a second. Not to mention, this is some weird indie team you never heard of. All these things are coming out in French. No. No, 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 no. No. No way. Not happening. If it can't run Breath of the Wild and make it look, and make it pop, this isn't, no. No. You gotta understand, this is a handheld primary device. So every game has to run on the handheld. You're gonna run this game somehow in 720p, 30 frames per second, and it's gonna look kinda like this. It's not true. This is just something someone's doing, and it's gonna downscale very heavily to be on the Switch. There's absolutely no way that happens. No way at all. No way. I don't like it. This is just, I don't like things. To transition into, I don't like Pokemon Go, and they're doing this thing with Starbucks. I also don't like Starbucks. Can we talk about how everyone's hopelessly addicted to coffee, and that's ridiculous? No? Okay, fine. Fine, we won't talk about that. It is ridiculous, though, if you start looking at it and thinking about it. Oh, I need my cup of joe in the morning. Oh, do you? Oh, you mean you have a chemical dependence that is akin to addiction of a drug, a class 1, whatever the fuck. That's what you have. Oh, I can't wake up without it. Congratulations! You're on narcotics, basically. So, great. Have fun with that. So now we've married the two things I don't understand the most, coffee and Pokemon Go, into one disastrous frappuccino. Fine. Fine. 6 months after this comes out, fine. Team up with Starbucks. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. There's rumors going on with Pokemon Go that the second gen, the next 100 Pokemon are going to be added in soon. Fine. Do it. I don't know. Maybe you should add in battles at a certain point. There's other rumors. You can change your outfit on your little dude. There's Pokemon outfits. I don't even know what that means. But it certainly doesn't mean anything interesting because there's nothing to do in that game. Is anyone still even talking and playing about this? I don't understand it. There was a time to capitalize on this, and it isn't now. There was also a time to release this game when it was a game. You should have released this and said it was a beta, because you're still adding in all these features that are like, they're adding in soon genders for the Pokemon. That's been in the games for what, 15 years? Since Gold, I think? Yeah, it must have been, because that was when there was ages. That's insane. That's insane how they added in stats a month after release. This isn't a fucking, just make the thing, and when you're done with it, I'll play with it. Because I'm not going to play with it off and on for 2 years while you add in features that have been in any Pokemon game since 1996. Okay? I'm not going to wait for that. Oh, you can catch them in real life. Fucking, it's not real life. This is fake life on your phone, and now your phone is dead. Congratulations on your garbage monster that you can't even fight anything with. Good fun time there. There's nothing to do. There's no dungeons to explore. There's no enemies to fight. There's just gyms to kind of wiggle and wabble at. But I have to walk around. When have you ever said, oh, I can't wait to play, oh, I can't wait to come home and play Fallout 4. And by that I mean walk around the apartment complex. No one's ever wanted to do that. No one's ever wanted to play Grand Theft Auto by walking around their town. For no reason. There's no reason to have to do that. Now, I get the idea of placing these in interesting places around the world and having cool things happen when you happen to be there. But the very idea that you need to walk around to play this game is kind of dumb. You need to move around to play it. No! When am I moving around? When I'm going to work. Oh, I'm going to catch Pokemons all over the fucking place. It's so stupid. So now you get to catch Pokemon at Starbucks. A great, wonderful place where you sink all your money into because you're hopelessly addicted to caffeine and you're a moron. So, good. Have fun. Have fun with your stupid fun time. Done with it. Done with your fun time. Tired. So tired of this. None of it. I don't like any of this. Throw it all away. We don't need Pokemon Go. We don't need coffee. And we don't need to be lied to, Nintendo Switch. We don't need it. I think that's about That about encapsulates all the things I dislike today. The next time there'll be more things I dislike. It really took a turn towards the I don't like anything much sooner than I thought it was going to. What can you do? But with that, let's get into the topics of the week, which will be, hopefully, more positive. Maybe. I mean, who knows? The best part about all that is I forgot his name. It's not Jim... Because it isn't Jimmy Kimmel. I know that, and that's why I said that, but why can't I think of his name? The Tonight Show with Jimmy... I can't think of it. I can't think of it at all. What the fuck's this guy's name? It's on the tip of my... I am old. This is not good. Jimmy... Right. Jimmy Fallon. God fucking damn it. Okay, now I remember. I'm smart. I'm really smart. In case you were curious. Let's move on to PSX. But more specifically, The Last of Us Part 2.
Longer hours.
No.
Less pay.
No, you're gonna die.
And all the responsibility.
Okay. Congratulations on having a shitty ad. Oh, let's put piano. Boop, 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 boop. Let's talk about PSX, and more particularly, this ad that's playing. The most interesting thing, and a surprise to me because I wasn't even really thinking about it. I didn't even think about predictions at all for PSX. The Last of Us Part 2. And The Last of Us, extremely good. A lot of people have been talking about the ending of The Last of Us and how The Last of Us 2 isn't necessary, isn't needed, isn't wanted, whatever. Fine. There's an argument to be made that maybe you don't need that, and having an addendum to the story isn't beneficial. But I'll argue that by that same idea, we would have never gotten Terminator 2. And, like, for every Matrix sequel, we get something like Terminator 2, which is incredible and adds to the franchise. So I think it's kind of premature to dismiss The Last of Us 2, Part 2, whatever, as being something that ruins the first game. I think that's jumping to conclusions that aren't necessarily warranted yet. Because while the ending and while the entire game of The Last of Us is great, there is more you can tell. There's definitely... The story is a section of, a year of these people's lives. More can be told. More can be said past that. Just because it had a nice little ending doesn't mean it has to end there. It also doesn't mean it has to be good after this. And I think the game mechanics, in particular, warrant a sequel more so than the story. So which is why, and I think I did a topic about this a while ago, about what I'd like to see from The Last of Us 2, because I did replay through The Last of Us, the HD, whatever, in May or so. And I would have rather seen something like just completely different people's story. Sure, I would have liked to have seen that, but there's something they have here with Joel and Ellie that is kind of unresolved. There are some questions lingering, and maybe you can look at it and say, we don't need those questions answered. Sure, maybe we don't. We don't need those questions answered. And if you don't want those questions answered, you don't have to buy the game. You don't have to play it. And if you don't want those questions answered and you play the game anyway, and you don't like how it is, you can just kind of not think it exists. There's a lot of people that don't like Back to the Future 3 and just kind of ignore it. Didn't ruin their life. Didn't change anything. It doesn't have to affect your appreciation for the first game if you don't like the second one. In the same way, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is not very good. It's okay. it doesn't ruin how much I like the Harry Potter movies or books, right? That doesn't change anything. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Just because you didn't like Batman v Superman doesn't mean you now Batman's ruined. Like, that's a stupid way to look at things. So there's that. I think there's a lot of hyperbole and like, we don't need this. We don't need this. Like, well, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't need this. But also, this game is years out, and we're not even really seeing something that it may or may not be in the game at this point. I think they said it is, but that could be a lie. That could change. This entire scene could be reworked around. Who knows? It's going to be coming out in years. So you don't know what this is. And to say, oh, we don't want that right off the bat is kind of like, well, let's wait a minute. Let's see what they come up with. Come back to us. Maybe we don't want this. Come back to us in a little bit of time. Show us some more Last of Us Part 2. And then maybe, okay, we'll judge from there when we actually have something to go on. Instead of just, well, she wants to kill some people. Fine. Let's wait and see. Because it's happening. You can't be mad about it and that they're going to change their mind. It's happening. Now, they could develop the game for a year and decide to cancel it because they don't like where it's going, but that's really not going to happen. That's a crazy pipe dream if you're hoping for that. At the end of the day, though, I think it's very exciting. I think this is the most interesting thing to come out of PSX, to come out of any gaming press conference in a while. The Last of Us is great. I think after playing, I played Uncharted 4 and then The Last of Us again, so I could kind of compare them. I think Uncharted 4 is better, just from a lot of perspectives, and a lot of the changes they added into Uncharted 4 in terms of the stealth and stuff like that could be added into The Last of Us 2 and make it incredible. And it looks phenomenal. Just update those systems a little bit, make all the puzzles not moving block puzzles. And let's see where the story goes. It takes place a couple years later. It's about revenge. Okay, I'm in. I'll see what you have here. Because judging a 15-hour game on a 2-minute teaser trailer, that's a little silly. That's a little silly. And I think as many times as something gets ruined by a sequel, I'd kind of like to, sometimes you want to see that sequel. You want to see what happened, even if it's going to end up being bad. Maybe that's not a good way to look at things. Maybe that's not even a good reason to say anything about it. But that's what it is. It is what it is, and it's going to be here, whether you want it or not. And I think a lot of people want it more than a lot of people don't want it. But let's talk about PSX, because there's a lot of junk going on at PSX. I have to scroll. Now, we're not going to watch all these trailers because it's ridiculous. It's out of control. So we get it's now more of like a splintered off section, standalone, Uncharted 4, The Lost Legacy with Chloe and Nadine. That's fine, I guess. I don't really care about Chloe or Nadine, but whatever. I'll take more Uncharted 4. I just don't. I wasn't huge into it. It was just like, okay, I would have rather. Maybe I'm one of the few people who would have rather have Sam and Sully jumping around doing stuff. I think Uncharted 4 criminally underused Sully, and it's a crime. Criminally, it's a crime. I would have rather. I mean, not to spoil the end of Uncharted 4, I would have rather them done something with the end of Uncharted 4 for the expansion. But I can understand why you wouldn't do that. So let's look what else we got. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, fine. I mean, that's for people. But there's a lot of stuff going on with that. There's no X-Men. No thanks. Let It Die, which I'm a big fan of Suda 5-1. And I don't even know. You see, it's Suda Goichi. Goichi in Japanese is 5-1. If you were to say 51, it'd be Gojuichi. So that's it. But everyone still calls him Suda 51. So I don't know what he wants. That's neither here nor there. The game looks incredible to me. I need to still play it. It's kind of like a broke-ass Dark Souls. And I can enjoy that. Batshit insane, that's exactly what he does best. So I'll get to that. Maybe next week. Let it die. Now, okay, I don't know who wants this Crash Bandicoot. I'm sure there are a lot of people. But after playing it again in Uncharted 4, that game's bad. Like, Crash Bandicoot's not a good game. I don't get it. It's not fun to me. It kind of controls like garbage. You can't see anything. It's not fun. I don't know. I don't know, but it looks cool. Looks like weird claymation puppets. It's kind of disgusting in that way. Like, it doesn't have enough fur detail. Everything's just like this flat, molded gel. It's weird. It's weird to me. We're getting more Spyro racing? Sure, let's call it Spyro racing. We have yet another trailer for Horizon, which I didn't really watch or pay attention to because they're ruining this game. They're showing way too much for Horizon. They need to stop. They needed to stop like 2 trailers ago. They keep ending these trailers with like this, and then oh fucking hell! I heard this thing from the conference they did at PSX about Horizon Zero Dawn, where they mentioned, oh, it takes place 1,000 years into the future, and I'm like, it's on Earth? I really hope I read that wrong, because that was a fucking thing that would have been amazing to find out in the game. Insane. I hope I read that wrong and that's not true. Because holy shit, that's so fucking dumb. Why would you mention that? Why would you even say that? Just say it happens. It's on an Earth-like planet. Like, oh my god, it's so dumb. So dumb. I think they ruined a giant thing if that's true. That's true. That is a giant thing that could have been an amazing moment that's now ruined. And I guess I just ruined it for all 3 people that'll watch this, but I mean, I am sorry. A little bit sorry. Windjammers. We need a thing for this? There's more Resident Evil 7, which we'll get to in a moment. It's on the side. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, over here. Oh, my hand's gone. Wipeout is getting a remaster. We get to the remaster party soon. Knack 2. No one cares. Lara Croft Go. We knew that would happen. Now, here's where we get Parappa, Loco Roco, and Patapon, all getting remastered for PS4. There's a lot of nostalgia going on for the PS1. In particular, these games. And obviously they're using it to gauge something, right? Interest in a sequel or whatever. So between Wipeout and Parappa, Loco Roco, and Patapon, that's 4 series. Now, Wipeout is, I guess, more contemporary. But why? How is this happening? Who are these 4 all together? It just seems like they're investing a lot of money into this stuff. I guess to make weird little stopgaps in your release calendar. Like if you have Horizon in February, you can have Crash a couple months later, and then a bigger game in the summer, maybe Gran Turismo, and then another little one, and then Days Gone or something. You know, like, I guess you could use them like that, little stopgaps, but it's very strange. And who wants Parappa? I haven't played the demo yet. I guarantee you I'm going to hate it. Guarantee you I'm going to hate that demo. I don't think that game's very good. Loco Roco I will play. I will probably play that. I like Loco Roco. It's stupid. It's my kind of stupid. Got this, Yakuza, and Yakuza Kiwami. Danganronpa is phenomenal, and I need to play the second one. It's something where it was so good, I didn't want to play the second one. I kind of wanted to wait and savor the moment that I had more to come, that I had more content to come. But at this point, I need to just play the game. Ni no Kuni 2 looks phenomenal. It looks phenomenal. The first game, incredible. Done. I'm in. Absolver, no one cares. I don't even remember what that is. Multiplayer combat role-playing game. That's literally everything. I don't know what that is. Let's see what it is. Watch out, children. The fuck is this game? No, this is garbage. This is hot trash. No one wants that. Starblood Arena. No one cares. VR shit. Dogfighting. Ace Combat. Yeah. Ys Origins. That's cool. Ys is good. Thumbs up. Ooh, Nex Machina looks great. Dreadnought, fine. There's a lot of fine here for me, but I understand a lot of people are more interested in it than I would be. Gravity Rush 2. Nier Automata, or Automata, or whatever it is. I want to say Automata. Automata. I don't know. Gets a release date. Not the release date for PC, though, which is upsetting, but looks great. Wasn't mentioned here in your little write-up, Polygon, but there was a new trailer for Neo, my game of the year, that is not even coming out this year. God, that game's amazing. So I think, overall, let's just keep this weird girl's face on the screen. I think PSX did a really good job after last year's, like, bleh, showing that was just really not, I mean, it had stuff going on constantly. Here's a trailer, here's a new game. It wasn't all amazing, but there was something for everyone. I mean, they had baseball and Destiny, they have VR, they have Patapon, like all these weird things all together. That's nice. It's nice to have that. And we got more Uncharted and more The Last of Us. So that's a really good show. That's a really good showing. There's also some stuff that they left on the table. You know, there was no Days Gone there. There was no, that David Cage game, I'm forgetting that, Beyond Detroit. It's Detroit Become Human. Beyond Detroit, Human, David Cage. There was none of that there, so they still have stuff up their sleeve. What is on the floor right now? Oh my god, alright. Chillax. I think it was good. Very, very marked improvement. Very, very improved, I think, over the PlayStation Pro reveal, which was just bad. Just real bad. And I think even better than the E3. I think E3 was good, and they had a lot of really cool reveals at E3 this year. But it wasn't jam-packed. It kind of went over things again. It's like, here's The Last Guardian again. You're like, alright. Okay. Hey, remember when we revealed Days Gone 30 minutes ago? Here it is again. Okay, that's really strange, but if you want to do that, I'm like, you remember Horizon? Like, yeah, I do. Here's a trailer. Alright. Like, so I think this did a better job of that and kind of showing every PlayStation, everything. Here's what you got. Except for PS3, which is dead now. Very dead. So, sorry. Sorry, PS3. No one wants to play you. Go back and play a PS3 game. I dare you. I dare you. Go back and play Red Dead on PS3. It looks like trash and it runs like trash. It's bad. Don't go back. Don't go back there. It's a bad place to be. It's a real bad place. Oh, this was the space thing, right? The spacey? I just don't care about VR. I just can't. Alright, moving on. Get out of here. Be gone, PSX. Let's move on to Dead Rising 4. We have right here. There's something very weird about. Oh, Joel, you're here. Well, I think we're both kind of PlayStation fanboys a little bit. It was great though. It was a great show. I need to adjust. There's a lot of delay going on. I'm already in Dead Rising. I'm not even on PlayStation. Take that, PlayStation. Think you're so cool? You don't have Dead Rising. Heh. Heh. Wake up. Wake up, stream. But Dead Rising 4. This is now going to be weird to edit, is basically all that is. I'm a big fan of Dead Rising 4, or Dead Rising in general. I've played all the games, I like all of them. I didn't play Off the Record, but I enjoy all of them immensely. Way more, I think I looked on Steam, I had 30 hours on Dead Rising 3. That's more than a lot of people. I did basically everything in the game. It's just fun. It's just fun to do. And the thing with Dead Rising 4 is they finally got around to improving it in like so many ways. So they added, the biggest change is they added a weapon wheel for each kind of object. So before it was just a bunch of items you could have with you. So like, oh, I got a baseball bat, and I got a chair, and I have a goofy hat. And you had them all in the same weapon wheel. But now, guns, melee weapons, and throwable objects like grenades are separated out into 3 separate things. And you can see them kind of above me, right here. That's melee, that's guns, and that's throwable things way to the side. And this change is huge to me. it means you could just pull out a gun, start shooting tons of zombies, and then immediately switch to a sword and start slicing people up. It's got the skill combo moves, which I will do probably copious amounts of throughout this. And you do throw grenades in the middle of that. You combo weapons. It's tons of fun. I got this one thing earlier today. It was like a snowball launcher. So it's a combo weapon that just shoots snowballs. So you're aiming this gun and the zombies are getting frozen. They're little snowballs. It's so dumb. I made a combo weapon that was a magic wand, and you'd hit the zombies and they'd turn into like gingerbread men or a present or a candy cane. Like pew pew pew. It's so dumb. That's what's fun about Dead Rising, and I think they finally, they got rid of the time limit, like super gone. And they just let you have fun. There's so many zombies in this game. They're everywhere. And it's fun to just kill them with everything you have. You're getting grenades left and right. You got rocket launchers. You got this little car you can get into, like a little go-kart, and it shoots lightning. Why? I don't know. You can get a dinosaur head, and you can combo weapon that into a dinosaur head that's on fire, and then you're hitting people with your dinosaur head on your head, so you're like headbutting them, and then its combo move is you just breathe fire on everyone. Why? No one knows, no one cares, because it's fun. That's what Dead Rising 4 does perfectly. It starts you off with this dream sequence where it just gives you a ton of zombies to kill and a bunch of weapons, and just says go. And then constantly throughout the game so far, it's just moment after moment of, hey, kill some stuff over here. I'm like, all right, I'll gladly do that. This is a ton of fun to just kill zombies. And that's what the series has always been about, but it's kind of had trouble with the finicky controls and the time limit, which I do like the time limit. I will defend the time limit. I'm a big fan of Pikmin 1 and its time limit, but I think by removing it and by adding in just how you can have weapons in this game, but the different slots, it just makes it fun. You're constantly leveling up, or unlocking some challenge, or finding a blueprint for a new combo weapon, or exploring little towns. So now, okay, they brought back the mall, which is a big thing. I don't know why there was no mall in 3. I think they just kind of forgot that that was what people wanted. They brought back the mall, they brought back the camera. The camera's cool too, but it's about the mall, right? And the game immediately drops you off in the mall. It knows. You do the little tutorial mission, you do the little dream sequence, and you do this little thing, and you're doing stuff with the camera. And then immediately, you are in the mall. And it is as good as it has ever been in the mall. Now, they claim this is the biggest mall in the world. I don't know what world that is, because it isn't this one. It's not a huge mall. But it's great. It's so good to be back. There's just something about it, about being in a mall, that is so much fun when there's a zombie apocalypse. There's something about it. I don't know what it is. I need to go back to the mall because the story after that kind of takes you away. Takes you away from the mall into the town surrounding the mall. And it's kind of broken off into 4 sections with the mall in the middle for loading and all that kind of shenanigans. And the town sections are smaller. If you played Dead Rising 3, they're smaller than those, but they're more interesting. The ones in Dead Rising 3 were just kind of streets. And sometimes there'd be buildings with stuff going on, but it wasn't that super interesting, or it wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't set up like, it was just a lot of stuff in the way. And now it's more interesting to roam the streets. There are a shit ton of zombies just literally everywhere. There's cars everywhere. There's the new exosuits, which is like just mech armor. And there's almost every building can be gone into, it seems like. At least 80% of them. You can go into them, see what the store was. It gives you a little bonus for finding every store. It marks every store on the map. You can see the map here. That's convenient. It's so much fun to just explore in this world and see what you find. There are little hideouts in people's houses. And it's not like on the level of The Last of Us or something where there's environmental storytelling of this house you found, someone's house. But it's still an interesting house. It still might have some fun stuff going on. And at the end of the day, it's just a ton of fun to kill zombies. It's just, that's what it is. Like, end of sentence. When you have 6 melee weapons. One of them is a sledgehammer with grenades attached to it. You're gonna have a fun time. I think one of my favorite weapons is this candy cane crossbow that when you shoot it, actually I'll probably get it in here later. When you shoot it, it just explodes into this firework thing and it's like, pew! And these things make cutesy little noises like that too. There's the Gandalf staff, which is this little weird projectile staff, but it's combo move. You slam the staff into the ground and a bunch of little robotic Santas come out of it and just start walking forward. It just has a ton of fun. And Frank West, I know people were upset about the new voice actor or whatever, but I like it. He's good, is what I mean. And his sense of humor is good. It's funny. It's fun. It's dumb. It's just dumb fun. There's no, like, there's nothing else to it. It's kind of broken in some ways. Like, if you just let me jump over that thing, I don't jump over it very well. I kind of flip and flop around. Picking up items off the ground can be annoying because they kind of put 16 things next to each other. Whatever. It doesn't matter. The game, a lot of reviews mentioned how easy it is. I don't think it's as easy as people are saying it is. Because you can kind of dick around and get yourself into bad situations, but that's my fault for just killing all the zombies in sight. I've also had some crashes on PC. Not too many, but I think more than one in 8 hours is too many, so too many. I think I've had 3 crashes. These events will still happen with those little encounters with someone, and you have to rescue them, and they can die, but it's not like it was in Dead Rising 1 or 2, where they're dead and they're gone for good. It's just kind of anonymous quests that pop up on the side. They stripped down a lot of this and kind of streamlined it into every moment is fun. You'll be doing the story, and it'll just set up a moment like, okay, you're gonna get here and you're gonna fight a bunch of guys. I'm like, okay, I'll fight a bunch of guys here, in a way that it never did before. It never was like fighting all the guys you could do, but it wasn't necessarily about it. And there's something fun about having no time limit and going around and killing a ton of zombies and finding a dress on the ground and just picking up a dress. And now you're in a weird dress with a chainsaw running through the mall with your goofy little sunglasses on. I do that. Every single clothing item I can pick up, I pick up. And so I have my crazy guy with like a pirate tat and like just like no shirt on, just tattoos. It's fun. It's dumb fun. It's exactly what I want. I think it's one of my favorite games of the year. It's so much fun. It's definitely one of the most fun times I've had of any game this year, I would say. Now, technically proficient? No. Here's the skill tree. Tons of stuff to do on the skill tree. Unlocking more slots for weapons, health, all kinds of stuff. It's a little overly complex in certain respects. Like, it's just kind of, we needed 100 levels, so let's just make this over here. I don't know. But that's fun. It works. You're getting so many skill points. I'll pause the game and level up when I have 6 to level up with, because there's just so many, and you kind of have to wait and level up. Like each tier of them, you have to be level 15 to level these up. So you're like, okay, I'll wait until I'm level 15 and I'll level all this shit up with my 16 points I have saved. But that's it. It's fun. This isn't a review. I'm feeling a little fatigued starting with it at about 8 hours in. I'm gonna go back to the mall and do some more optional stuff now and kind of see how I feel about it, because I would like to beat it and see how I feel about it towards the end of it, to do a review, more official review. As it stands, as a big fan of the series, every one of them, this is the best one by far in terms of gameplay. And especially if you were like really intrigued by the idea of Dead Rising, but the first one scared you away, because the first one really is like, it's not a easy walk in the park game, and I can appreciate why people are upset that they haven't embraced that more. But I think we did get Dead Rising 1 and 2 and Off the Record in that style, so you could just go play those, and they just did re-release them in HD and all that on the consoles. But if you like the gameplay of it and the idea of it more than necessarily the early implementation, Dead Rising 4 is for you. It's just a shit ton of fun. Great game. And I really hope I'm getting a little bored with it, but I hope it's just kind of more discouragement that the game crashed on me. I think that's not helpful. When a game crashes, not helpful. Keep rolling, Frank. Just keep rolling. Oh, the game's very, very pretty on PC, but not amazingly so. Certainly doesn't run amazingly well. There's a lot going on though in terms of reflections and hundreds of zombies. Hundreds. They're everywhere. And you can also do fun things like stick fireworks in their heads and watch them blow up. It's just a fun time. That's all it is. Was Dead Rising 2 the one with the timer? No, Dead Rising 1 and Dead Rising 2 had the timer. Off the Record, I'm pretty sure did too. But Off the Record was basically Dead Rising 2 again, but with Frank West. Dead Rising 3, I think, had a timer, but it was very easy. I don't even remember if it did or not, to tell you the truth. Because that was 2 years ago or so when I played it. I don't even know. The timer was cool though, I thought, because it allowed you to have these like, do I save these people or do I not? Like, do I continue the main quest? And there was stuff in Dead Rising 1 where you could just run out of time. It's like, well, this is the ending you get. Play the game again, and then you'll like learn how to do things. But the thing with it was like, Dead Rising 1 had this save system that was very, like, you could save in all the bathrooms, and it was very difficult to do. Like, you were at risk going out into the world, and that's fun. Like, that's a really fun survival idea. But the combat really wasn't there at Dead Rising 1. And even like 2, it's still this kind of mess. And now that they've given you more items and stuff and made it a little easier, it's more fun and it's more survivable. They really did tone down a lot of the survival stuff. But then again, that skill tree, you can level up your HP and stuff. If you want it to be more difficult, just don't level that up. But yeah, I can understand people wanting what it used to be, is how I'll put it. I think it's fun to just try. I got these fucking swords. Look at the blood everywhere. Incredible. I don't know if it's the video that's all choppy or what, but look at him slice and dice. Blood gets all over your shirt. That's kind of new. Well, it's not necessarily new. Just slice the guys out. It's fucking fun. Slow motion everywhere. It's a good time. It's a good time. Okay. Look at him run. I stayed in this first area by the crashed helicopter for like 20 minutes. Because it's a cool food court. Good game. Good game. Moving on to not as good of a game here in a second. It's all dark and spooky where I am. Spooky. I forgot what I was doing for a second. Kind of start staring at my computer like, where am I? What's this mean? Okay. So let's go back to Resident Evil 7. I think, talked about this game far too much. I talked about I was super excited for what they're going to show at E3, and then I got this. And then there was the first demo, and then the second demo. Well, it's basically the same demo, but they keep updating it. This is the third demo. And there's a point here. But why? Capcom is really what I'm trying to say. Why would you release a demo over 6 months? I can't imagine releasing the demo basically 3 times, only the last time being indicative of the final product, is helpful to you. I don't understand that at all. I don't get it. I'd like to know just what they're thinking there. There's some really weird stuff about it. I really don't. So what they finally add in this is actual gameplay. They give you an enemy to fight. There's stuff to see. Well, when the game lets you see, because it's so goddamn dark. There's kind of some puzzly stuff, like, oh, there's this toilet, and oh, I need a valve to put in this thing so I can flush the toilet and turn the water, like simple Resident Evil style puzzles. And there's some really cool stuff that you see by looking at the world and like going, oh, this drawer, I can open this drawer, what's in it? Or there's stuff hidden under the stairs, but you won't notice that unless you're looking down and trying to find it. It really does use the first person perspective to great ability overall. But that being said, I do question their methods, because there's some things that happen here. Basically, you'll go back into that, once I finally get there, you'll go back down to the basement and kind of trigger an encounter with this monster. At no point do you realize you need to run away from this monster, right? It doesn't tell you that, and how would it? How could it, right? But you need to run away from it. You need to run away from this monster. And you're armed only with an axe to fight this creature. And so you turn around, and there's a really cool moment where if you turn around, you'll realize that the guy has like locked you in the room, and he kind of smiles, and that's a great moment. What you won't realize is that you need to kick the door twice in order to get out. Okay? And I've heard kind of conflicting reports that defeating this monster isn't possible, but it is possible, but it's really difficult. I know I fought it several times. And at one point I chopped off its arm, and that was really cool. It still didn't die, and it can kill you in 3 hits. And this becomes the problem. Well, there's 2 problems here. One, there's no checkpoints in this demo. Now, that might not be a problem to you, right? There's no checkpoints, who cares? It's only a 5-10 minute thing anyway. Why do you need a checkpoint? Well, I'll tell you why. Because if you die against this monster, and you would like to see the ending to this demo, you have to do everything again. And it's the same order every time. It's not suspenseful the 2nd time, or the 3rd time, or the 4th time. There's no reason to not put a checkpoint at the top of the stairs, just so I can see your goddamn game, right? You're trying to sell me on this, and frustrating me by killing me in a situation that is difficult, and forcing me to redo steps that I already know over and over again isn't helping your cause. The other, perhaps larger problem, really, because maybe I'm just bad at it, is I'm not just bad at it. The combat is bad. In terms of, you have an axe, right? You're swinging this axe. It is so difficult to judge if the enemy is super close to me and I can hit it, or if I'm too far away. It's almost impossible for me to judge reliably if it's too close or too far away. And the same goes if it can hit me. But it's inverse of what you'd think. You'd think that the game would be lenient and let me hit things that are kind of further away than maybe it seems. And you'd think that maybe the enemy, oh, I got away with that one. It seemed like it could hit me, but maybe I'm far enough away. No, it's the inverse of that. This enemy's halfway across the fucking room, it feels like, which it's so claustrophobic, it's hard to get away from this super fast thing. It rears up its dumb arms. You're trying to back away. It hits you from across the room. And again, 3 hits, you're dead. Okay? And you're trying to swing at it. The axe is hitting into doors, which is fine. That's a mechanic. Okay, I understand. But I'm also whiffing, missing this thing entirely, several times, over and over and over. The first-person combat is not very well done. I remember playing Condemned. That worked well. This does not work well. At no point fighting this with an axe did I feel like I could reliably hit it with the axe. And I'm standing literally right next to it. I'm like swinging the axe at it. It's insane. Why was that so difficult for them to get right? And then they give you this gun if you get past that. If you get past that by figuring out, which I didn't figure out, I had to Google it. Oh, well, I wasn't Googling that specifically. I was Googling a walkthrough and overall. But the only way to get out of there is to turn around and knock on the door twice. But you don't get the button prompt to knock on the door unless you're like fucking balls to the wall inside dry humping the door. So you don't know that that's there as an option. You don't know you need to run. And you can't even run because there's no dodge move. There's no like pivot out of the way, juke move, like you're a football player. There's none of that. So you're just kind of running around and you have to turn around to see where it is. Keep turning around to see where it is because I don't know where the fuck it is now. And it's impossibly dark, this game. The entire thing. I ended up turning up the brightness a little just so I could see. It's not even that it was like, it's so scary because it's so dark. No, it's just I can't see anything. The entire game is in this weird periscope, like you're in a goddamn submarine. And so you can't see in the corners. And everything is so dark. I don't understand it. It's so goddamn dark. And the combat doesn't work right. That's what I was getting to. They give you, after you escape, the impossible thing to know you're supposed to escape from in a way that's ridiculous. After you escape, you get a gun, right? There's nothing to use the gun on. It's just to see that there's a gun in the game. I guess I could go back and fight the monster, but reports are inconclusive. There's nothing down there, and the monster, it just kind of dies and goes away from what I understand. So I don't really understand what we're getting at here. There's some really cool ideas. Turning around, when I saw that guy there, I tried to go back through the door, and it opens up and it has him like, that's a super cool moment, right? That was amazing. When the monster comes out, oh my gosh, this is scary. And then I die and I have to redo the entire demo again. And I keep trying to fight him, but the axe is missing him, and I feel like it shouldn't be missing him. The monster's coming up in like a minute here. And you have to know to turn around and to kick the door twice. Like, I never would have figured out how to do that. There's a sandbag too in this, not sandbag, sorry. It's a body bag with a human dead person in it, in this room, right? And here they are, here are the bodies. Great ambiance, right? There's one of these bags you can kick it into the monster. But if the monster is doing its animation, it doesn't necessarily work. If it is too far away, but it seems like it isn't too far away, it doesn't hit it either. So there's some really funky shit going on with that just doesn't work for me. Like you could kick it at it, and I did it once or twice where I successfully kicked the body bag at the monster and like knocked it down, and that allows you time to knock on the door a little bit to push it out of the way. But it was so finicky. Like if you're gonna put a mechanic like that, this needs to work. Like if I have it lined up with the monster, I don't care if it's charging me like crazy or kind of off to the side, it needs to hit it. If its geometry is about to hit it, it needs to hit it. And it felt like it was routinely, the game felt like it was routinely fucking me over with weird hitboxes because of the first person view. It just didn't add up. It didn't line up and it didn't feel right. The mechanics of it just did not feel right at all. Here's the monster. It's got a great moment here. I'm like, la-di-da-di-dee. La-di, oh shit. Like, son of a bitch, there's a monster here. And people are saying that this game looks really good. I think it does in a lot of parts, but there's a lot of parts I don't agree with at all. Like, I got lucky there. I don't even know, and it's like kind of flailing around. I'm hitting the wall. The first encounter here, I did pretty well. But like that, I missed him. Did you see that? I missed him. How? The axe like would have sliced his arm off. I'm fighting him again. He does that. Like, there's nothing to do. I can't juke out to the side. You're so slow. The only thing I can do is kind of like run in front of things. And I'm dead. Okay. Alright. I'm dead now. It's great. Let's see if I can't skip to the next time I fight him to kind of show. It's so goddamn dark. I don't even get to see it. I think this is it. I'm getting eaten. You can't see anything. Oh, I'm trying to kick this into it. Like, oh, that didn't hit it. Oh, that didn't hit it. Okay. Somehow I have to let it die installed. Insane to me. Just doesn't work right. I'm swinging. Oh, that missed. Did you see that where I missed? That missed. What? What's happening? Can we have some consistency here? Making me thirsty. Ridiculous. Look how many times I'm hitting it. I understand you're supposed to run away, which is something I didn't realize yet. And I got stuck behind it, like I couldn't run away. And you just hit and die. There's no health bar. There's no way to know anything. While I like the idea that they're showing gameplay and what the actual gameplay of the game will be, I think it's so irresponsible to have something like this that just doesn't feel right. It doesn't fit right. Is this as an advertisement to a huge Resident Evil fan? I love every single game in the mainline series. Every single one. Even 6, even 5, both Revelation. I love all of them except for Code Veronica. All of them. And you can't get me? You can't get me with this demo? Like, I don't understand. There's just so many weird choices with how they've been marketing this that doesn't add up to me. And I was hoping this would be the reveal of gameplay that finally convinces me. And it is the reveal of gameplay. But it just left me feeling like, I don't know if this is quite right. And I haven't even brought up the fact that the horror used here isn't Resident Evil horror. Like, I just played through Resident Evil 1 again in October. This is not a return to form. This is an entirely different style of horror. That at no point in Resident Evil 1 do you feel so claustrophobic and just full of dread. And maybe that's good. Maybe it's finally a horror game. Okay. But this is a horror game. I feel like more than survival horror. And it definitely is scary if that's what you're looking for. Woof. It's scary, but it was relying on a lot of weird gimmicks, and I don't know if I trust it. I don't know if I like the idea of a monster guy constantly hunting you the entire time. It kind of sounds exhausting, not in a fun way. Like, Nemesis was always hunting you, but it wasn't breathing down your neck the entire time. It was more these designed points. You just didn't know when it was going to happen. And I have to look over my shoulder. Like, there was a lot of safe rooms, in addition to the actual safe rooms, in Resident Evil. This is when I try to leave. It's a good moment. There's a lot of safe rooms in Resident Evil 1, in particular, where you're just kind of walking around, and there's some birds. And you're like, okay, I don't know if I'm safe or not, but I think I'm safe. I'm pretty good here. And if something happened to you, it wasn't you were trapped in a room, generally. At least not in a demo. I just don't buy it. Look at how many times I missed him there. This is how I have to run away. I'm going to miss him again with his bag, too. No, gotta run. And he can kill the bag. He can destroy the body bag. He just did. He just did, yeah. Running around in circles, trying to hit him. I didn't hit him there. You can't even see anything. Like, okay, he died. I can't fucking see or do anything. You're so slow. There's no dodge move. I missed him. Okay, I missed him. Now I gotta run away. Like, I guess I run away and I can't see him because I have to run, but I can't run at him to see him. So, he's gonna hit me. Oh, see? And then he missed. Like, everything doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think that's pretty clear. I'm also dead. You know? And that's... Did I die again? What's this? Oh, that's the demo. Or the video. The demo. Oh, I looked up how to do it. So you have to kick the door. And there's two endings if you get hit once or if you don't get hit at all. So you have to kick the door twice, which fucking sucks and isn't very clear. See, I kicked it at him, but it's too far away, and then he runs at me. It's such a disaster. I really don't like it. Then you break out the door so you can finally leave. Okay, I run away. And then you do your little puzzle. It's happening. You're going to the thing. Oh, let's do the puzzle. Okay, turn the crank. Flush the toilet. The monster doesn't come back after you. Then you get the gun. And some heroin needles. If you wanted some of those in the toilet. Cool. Now there's a gun. I don't know if the gunplay is good. This demo should have been a giant opportunity to assure everyone that the combat was there, for one, and for two, meaningful and good and interesting and more of a way than this. That just showed me like, I don't think this is good. I don't want to fight anything in this. But it seems like you're going to make me want to fight. And from those previews that people played the game for 4 hours, it sounds like there are going to be many sections where you have to fight things. And if the combat is all kind of like that, again, huge Resident Evil fan. Don't understand this. Don't understand it at all. This is not Resident Evil in tone or anything. This is the end of it. You end up like dying and whatever. Who cares? This is the show every week, Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Twitch.tv/TheGameFanatics. I stream Mario Maker on my own channel, Twitch.tv/BenReacts, Saturday, Sunday, and starting a Wednesday stream of random junk. Probably doing, I don't know, Titanfall 2? Last Guardian? Let It Die? Maybe I'll play Let It Die. Starting a Wednesday during the day stream of shenanigans. Not Resident Evil. Good God. Never again. Never again. Nope. Well, I probably will end up playing the game. You know, it's inevitable. It really is. The terror continues. Purchase now. Infected ending. Great. I'm so fucking excited.